then once we got off the road, I just tried to get normal again. Been on the road for, geez, I don't know how long we were on the road, more than a year, just almost solid year and a few months or whatever. And just tried to get back into being normal again. Like I'd wake up after 4 hours, go to bed, wake up early in the morning, just couldn't sleep anymore. Just trying to kind of like calm down, and spent a lot of time trying to do that, and it took a few months. Fooled around a lot, shot a lot of pool, drank a lot of beer, go on little trips, you know, take my just take a ride somewhere. Pretty much just took it easy. It was really hard to think of writing any music once we got back, because I was kind of burned out playing the same songs over and over every night. So it was kind of hard to write music again. So that's why I spent a lot of time just fooling around. That way I can start feeling regular, not thinking about it. That's when you can write music, when you least expect it. All of a sudden you wrote some music and it's kind of all right.
So when did you all get together to start writing songs for this?
Never. Actually, we really don't ever write too much music together. Most of the time, Bill and Roddy and Mike Borden will get together and write a bunch of tunes. Then I'll write some on my own. I'll write a couple of tunes. And Mike Patton, I guess he wrote a song on his own. And then we'll give it all to him, let him write lyrics to it. So we never actually really get together to write songs.
So did you pretty much take the same approach for this album as the real thing?
Oh yeah. Almost everything we've done, same way. We have a hard time writing stuff together.
Do you find that the songs change once you get into the recording studio?
Yeah, once we get in the recording studio, the songs might change a little bit. They might change a key in a certain part, something like that. They're usually pretty much, by the time we get into the recording studio, the songs are pretty much the way they're going to be. A lot of times I'll go into the studio and I won't know what the heck I'm going to do, though, and I'll have to make something up once we get in the studio. That's just, you know, like a few little parts here and there, so we shall see.
Can you explain how the recording process works, like what you lay down first?
For us, we start recording. We'll get Puffy in there, you know, Mike Puffy Borden, and we'll get him in there. Him and Bill will, you know, Bill will play along with Puffy so he knows what the heck he's doing. We'll get the drums done first. We try and do it all together. You know, we tried recording live before, and what ends up happening is that we have to do all these takes so Puffy can get a good take. And by the time we get around to him doing a good take, we've done the song so many times that everybody else is playing lousy, and he gets a good take. So we'll do him first. Then Bill comes in, he does his bit, and then Roddy comes in, he's doing some of his now, and I'm going to start in a few days, me and Mike Patton, and we'll switch off back and forth so he can rest his voice a little bit, and we'll get the stuff going that way. And usually I'm not here when people are working on their stuff, but everybody seems to like to hang around while other guys are doing their stuff. I don't know why. I ain't got nothing else to do or something.
Well, I'm sure you influence the final product just by being around, you know.
To a degree. But if you're just sitting around and not doing anything, hard to say. I mean, everything has an influence, I guess. That's kind of cosmic, isn't it?
I guess for the last album, Patton wrote the lyrics pretty quickly. What happened this time out?
Last time he tried really hard to write them really fast, and this time he wanted to take it at a more leisurely pace. Maybe try and do a better job, or maybe he had a little bit more difficult time with the songs this time, because it is really weird music to try and play anything to, I'll tell you.
Okay. Can you describe the new sounds and the music that's going to be on the new album?
Well, I think that the new album pretty much be, you know, more Faith No More. Hopefully we've gotten a little bit better. Songs are a little bit different. I think there's a little bit different attitude. I think everybody's kind of gotten like fat and conservative, frightened of, you know, doing something maybe a little bit off the wall, but there'll still end up being off the wall things anyway. The sort of thing just happens with us. People don't plan it.
What are your key musical influences for this album?
My key musical influences are pretty much the same as they are for anything that I do. What I'm trying to do with this album is trying to figure out some guitar parts to play along with this crazy stuff. I don't know what the hell they're thinking of when they're doing some of this stuff. They don't leave too much room for me, so I got to try and fit in somewhere. I thought of a few things though. I get like late at night, sitting in my room. You know, maybe I've been out a little bit doing illicit activities, and I'll think of something, and I'll put it down on my 4-track recorder. Because if I don't save it, I'll never remember it. I don't know. I think it'll work out fine.
How do you feel the band has evolved musically with all the new songs?
That's a tough one. I think the band has evolved musically. I think they've gotten a bit more refined. We have better gear, so right there it makes the sound a little bit more refined. Actually, a lot more, instead of playing through cheap gear like we used to doing. But of course, we still have a whole bunch of cheap gear here just in case we need it. You know what I mean?
Has your role in the band changed in any way, or how has it evolved with the new songs?
My role in the band is pretty much the same as it's always been. Nothing's really changed there. Attitudes might be a little bit different. I think everybody's a lot more worried about what I'm going to do, but I don't really think they have anything to worry about. What am I going to do?
Okay. How about the other guys? Has their role changed in any way?
No, everything's pretty much remained the same.
Sometimes the best things come out of creative disagreements. Does that ever happen with you guys?
Oh yeah, creative disagreements of all types happen at any time. And sometimes folks are getting mad about nothing. Sometimes, you know, it's something. A lot of times it really has nothing to do with anything, but the tension in there still makes something on its own. And that happens here quite a bit.
Do you guys think you're feeling the pressure of following up the success of the last album?
Yes, I think that we are indeed feeling the pressure of following up the last record. Before we came in the studio, nobody wanted to go in the studio because they didn't think we were ready. And they were complaining about not being ready. But we went ahead anyway, and here we are. Might as well get it going. God damn it.
The Real Thing opened up a lot of different people to sounds they probably would have never have heard before. What do you hope the new album will accomplish?
I hope that we can get the same sort of reaction with the new record as we got with The Real Thing. It's a very positive reaction, and a lot of people thought a lot more of us than we ever thought about ourselves. It was kind of good. We kind of like that.
Gotta change the battery.
I think so, because the guy's liable to say something that he wouldn't normally say with somebody else there.
And like less fooling around.
You like
Right. Less joking, definitely.
That's good.
Okay, here we go. Wait. Does the album have a title yet? And can you explain it?
I don't think that the album has a title yet, as we speak here. Probably won't until the album cover's ready to go to the press.
Do you have anything in mind?
Well, Roddy wanted to name it Angel Dust. I don't know why. I just want you to know that if it's named Angel Dust, it didn't have anything to do with me. I just tapped my mic. It's going to come out pretty good, huh?
Gary, you okay?
It sounded like he tapped his mic.
Okay, that's so brilliant.
That kind of,
Are there any specific topics or situations that have influenced the new songs?
oh, geez, I don't know. I imagine that there have been topics and situations that have influenced the new songs, but I don't know what they are.
Anything for you personally?
For me, no, I'm just playing music. I just like it. I like it. I like to play the most powerful music possible.
Okay.
At least you didn't say John Travolta.
Jim, tell me about some of the new songs.
Well, what would you like to know?
Well, I don't know anything about them, so if you just want to say, oh, we have one song, it's called da-da-da-da.
Well, new songs, mostly we just have code names for them, like Shuffle, Madonna, Japanese. They really don't have any titles yet. We have a few disco songs, a few metal songs. We might even have a little bit of ethnic music in there, a little movie soundtrack, bunch of different stuff.
Can you pick one specific song and describe it for me, like how it started out and then what it evolved to?
Oh, geez, okay. There was this one song called Shuffle. Of course, we had one on the last record that was codenamed Shuffle as well, so I get confused what everyone's talking about. They say Shuffle. But at any rate, we got one called Shuffle. And Bill gave me a tape. It had him and Puffy and Roddy on it playing. That was just one of the many songs that were on there. And then I played some guitar to it, and that's about how it evolved and whatever.
What are the lyrics to it all about?
I have no idea. I don't even know what the lyrics to our last record are all about.
Okay. What's your favorite song so far and why? Describe it.
Oh, let's see. Favorite song so far is called F Sharp. And I like it because it's really easy for me to figure out a guitar part for it. And it kind of sounds like Van Halen. So it's kind of cool. Not too much disco influence in it.
I'd have to take a laughing break. Okay. Is there any one member that really shines on a particular song where you listen to the song and you go, wow?
Not so far. Nobody shines yet. We'll see what happens when we get to the mix down. You know, people shine a little bit here and there. For the most part, you know, Mike Patton shines pretty much through the whole album. Everybody wants to hear the lyricist. He does a nice little job.
What point are you guys up to at this point? And like, what are the plans week by week, and when will the album come out?
We're hoping to have the album out in May, so as we can start get back on the road. Until that time, we're just trying to get it done. We seem to have plenty of leeway. We're pretty well prepared, so it shouldn't be any problem.
How long do you think you'll spend in the studio altogether?
Altogether, we'll probably spend about, I think, 3 months mixing and everything. That's the longest that we've ever spent. Usually we do it all in 2 months. But this time we're giving a little extra time because we might need it, because we might not be quite ready to record everything. So then again, and they want to spend a little bit more time mixing. So that's it. But it's funny, you know, when you think about it, how all these folks spend all this time in the studio, and some of the greatest records ever done were done in, like, you know, a couple of days or something. And it amazes me. But then, you know, people are used to a higher standard of sound nowadays with your CDs and all that. So
where in that whole recording process, what are you up to at this point?
we've got drums and bass done. We're just starting the keyboards today. That's where we're at.
Do you have any idea what the first single is going to be?
The first single, I really don't know yet what it's going to be. There's a couple of ones that look like they could be. It depends how they turn out in the mix. We shall see.
Could you pick one that you would like to be the first video and single?
Well, there's doing this one song called Action Adventure, and that one could be a first, but I don't think anybody will take it seriously enough to have the balls to actually do the first video on it.
What did you think of the whole Mr. Bungle thing that Mike did? Are you glad that he went ahead and did that project?
I thought it was fine. Mike Patton did the Mr. Bungle thing. There was a lot of people who were really worried about it. And I got a lot of phone calls, people expressing their concern, telling me that I should be concerned about it. So I, you know, kind of went along with it. I said, oh, well, you don't think you should do it? Okay, fine. But then we got down to it, and they said, oh, you should do it. I said, fine. That's what I said to begin with, you know what I mean? I think it's okay. I think I'm going to do, you know, I'd like to do my own record sometime of some stuff. So that kind of, you know, he's got his, and I'd like to do mine, and other guys would like to do theirs, and I think it's fine.
How has the Bungle stuff influenced his new, like, lyrics and stuff?
I don't know. I think that maybe the Faith No More thing influenced his Bungle thing, because he was on the road with us for so long. He's kind of leaning more towards a punk rock type singing style and hairdo.
So when do you think you'll hit the road, and what are your expectations for the upcoming tour?
I think we'll hit the road hopefully in May, and I expect.
You know what? Let's do that again, since you kind of hesitated.
We expect to hit the road in May, and I think that we will probably secure an opening slot with somebody in an arena type deal, or maybe an outdoor thing, seeing as it's summertime. Hopefully. Of course, it all depends on how our record does. We could be back in the old clubs and stuff. That would be fun. But that's what we expect, about May, June.
In just a few words, can you describe what it's like to be on tour?
Being on tour is like a huge blur. There's no time does not exist, except when you have to do something. Sleeping, eating, whatever can happen at any time, as long as there's some place to do it at. And time either passes very quickly or very slowly, depending on what's happening with you at the time. Like if you have a lot of interviews to do all at once, time passes very slowly. But if you're traveling, then it passes quick.
Okay. I know it's really early, but do you have any plans for a home video?
Yeah, we got plans for a home video. Bill's got a lot of interesting footage that he took himself with the last tour. Much of it which is not suitable to be shown on TV or to small children. It'll probably go into a home video. I don't know if they'll put any kind of rating on it like they do to movies like R or X or whatever, but we'll see.
But you're gonna put that footage on anyway, huh?
I hope so. I'd like to see it out there. You know, there's a lot of it that I saw once, and Bill sent it in to be put together, and I haven't seen it since. I wonder where it is.
Well, you could do two versions. You could do an X-rated and
I think somebody's hiding it from us. Our management's hiding the footage from us so we don't use it against them or ourselves.